Well, hello. It's nice to see you. I'm glad that you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with me, and I'm going to use this time to teach you something about bird watching, about a way to identify birds. Each week, we will spend a little bit of time learning something from how we observe birds. Sound confusing? It'll make sense when you watch this. So please, let's see what we have in store for us today. Today's lesson from bird watching is about how some things change without our noticing. You know, it's said that the robin is a sign of spring. You know, that didn't used to be the case. It used to be that the first bluebird was the sign that migration had come. So why is it that we think that robins are the one who announces spring? Because we humans changed the habitat. We cut down trees to make fields. And that wasn't so bad for the bluebirds, because the bluebirds like the fields, but only so big, and they like the edges of them. But our fields kept getting bigger and bigger, and we made lawns everywhere, and robins tend to like that a lot because they like to be on the lawn, finding all those wonderful little worms that are down in there. And so it became the migratory robins that let us know that spring was here. The scientific name of the American robin is Turdus migratorius. It means the migratory thrush, the thrush that travels and migrates. So it's natural to think that the first robin is the sign of spring, that they have migrated and shown up, coming from places in the south to the north. And it's true, that happens every year. But what about those robins that are here in November and December and January and February, and they're there? You'll hear someone say, it must be an early spring, it's February, and I saw a robin today. Well, of course you did, because there are robins in this area, at least, all year round. But they're not the same robins, because robins are migratory. Those robins that are here in the winter go north in the spring, just like the ones that are farther south from here come north in the spring. So one group of robins is replaced by another group. There are slight differences. If you really pay attention, you might be able to tell these different races of this one species apart, but they're the same species, the same bird. So sometimes change happens, even when we're not paying attention. In fact, in nature, change is happening all the time. Change is not a bad thing. Change is a very good thing. The very survival of these birds that we care about relies on the changing of the seasons, the different vegetation coming up, the different insects coming to the vegetation. All of that cycle is part of what makes life of birds happen. And that's what makes our lives enriched by noticing it, even when we don't seem to get it. So now, the lesson is yours. What did you learn? What does it mean to you from what you gathered in our time together? It's going to be different for each and every one of us. That's what learning is like. And I hope that in all of this, you will see that God has created a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular world with all these differences, in part so that you will know that you have a place in it, and all of it can make you feel better. It can make you feel wonderful that the world is so beautiful. So I hope that whatever you learned in this time will be something you can apply, you can practice in your life this week, every week. And maybe you will have something to share that you learn, and I would love to hear it. And others would love to hear it. So as you go from this time, go out and explore. See the world. Find what God has in store for you. And tell others about it. Until next time, bye.